back, 2019 proved to be a rough year for politicians, with several scandals rocking Capitol Hill. But which political crises were the biggest, and how will they shape the new year? Here to weigh in, Executive Director of the American Principles Project, Terry Schilling. Thank you so much for joining us, Terry. We appreciate it this morning.
I always love coming on, Heather. Great to see you.
So who knew scandals rocking Capitol Hill? Number one for you is impeachment and the Ukraine phone call. Explain why.
Look, the impeachment sham that the Democrats have been pushing since President Trump got into office, literally, they planned it before he even took office, has turned out to be a complete and utter catastrophe for them. It started off with the Mueller investigation, which, as you recall, started because President Trump fired James Comey. You fast forward to just a couple weeks ago when Inspector General Michael Horowitz released his report. It's very clear that Comey should have been fired almost before President Trump was elected. Now you have this Ukraine thing because they couldn't get President Trump impeached from the Mueller investigation. It's just led into this huge, big charade, and the American people are starting to see through it.
And let's talk about that since you brought it up. The Mueller report, and let's throw back here to AG Barr saying no obstruction. This was back on April 18th. Listen.
But the special counsel found no evidence that any American, including anyone associated with the Trump campaign, conspired or coordinated with the Russian government. The special counsel found no collusion.
So that was back on April 18th. We're now about to enter 2020, and we're still talking about it.
Yeah, and we're going to continue to talk about it, and we should continue to talk about it, because this was the biggest overreach and overstep and abuse of government power that we've seen in the 21st century. Let's be very clear about what happened. Democrats have weaponized certain agencies of the federal government against their political opponents, and we should be exposing this greatly as much as possible. Inspector General Horowitz in his report said that there were 17 overt errors in the FISA application to start the spying process on President Trump's campaign. And he was asked how that happened, that 17 errors happened, and he said it was egregious negligence or intentionality. Those were the two words that he used to describe the FBI's actions and mistakes. That is so scary and worrisome. We should be very worried about it.
Yeah, it sure is. Something else that is scary and worrisome, politicians in blackface. That was another scandal that we kept hearing about.
Yeah, it goes, not only was it our, Virginia's own Governor Ralph Northam that got caught in it, but his Lieutenant Governor was caught up in a similar scandal, and we even had Prime Minister Justin Trudeau caught up in a blackface scandal. But what's most concerning to me, Heather, is the hypocrisy that's being shown by the progressives in the media, especially at the Washington Post. If this was a Republican that got caught dressing in blackface, they would rightfully be run out of town and probably impeached. But because it's a Democrat, it seems that the progressives all rally around them. It's very concerning, and the American people, and especially voters, are starting to see through this, and it's why they don't really trust a lot of the people in the mainstream media, to be honest.
Yeah, we will see who is impacted in the elections coming up. Terry, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it.
Thanks, Heather. Good to see you.
Good to see you.